It's all happening. 50 days for the pooter to get it right, or else we're selling billions of dollars of stuff to them. And the Europeans are going to pay for the whole thing. It's going to be fantastic. You know who profits from that? The war machine. That's who. But you've made a promise that you wanted to, we're going to get this thing done day one. Well, here it is. We're past day one. I didn't expect it to be done day one, but I expected it to be further along. I'm shocked, but now you have to exit on purpose. You can't tell them to exit because they're not listening. So now you have to push him over to the side and have him exit the facilities now because he is not stopping. I'm just seeing what's going on in Ukraine. It is a nightmare. They are not stopping. He is. I heard Trump say, he says one thing in the morning and then in the evening he does whatever he wants. Yeah, because he doesn't fear what's happening. So we're going to give him some more sophisticated stuff. We're going to turn him a little bit more loose. The goal is to push him back, to get him to the point where he has no choice but to go, all right, I want this done. Now, when does that happen? I thought there would be something in place by August and that peace would be achieved, come September. So is there a chance that could happen? Absolutely. Absolutely. But is it going to happen? Well, that's going to be an interesting thing. If it does happen, Trump's given him, some 50 days or so to get this thing sorted.
Here today is to hear that we are very unhappy, I am, with Russia, but we'll discuss that maybe a different day. But we're very, very unhappy with them, and we're going to be doing very severe tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days.
And if you're going to do tariffs, that's fine. I don't know how much we're really buying from them, but what you have to do is you have to hammer the people that are the third parties. These are the people that will purchase on behalf of Russia and then sell it to Russia. And that's how everybody gets around stuff. Like China goes to Vietnam with their stuff, and then we buy it from Vietnam. And really, it's China stuff. Everybody makes a little something off of it. You have to figure out how do you put a real hurting on these other companies and countries that want to work with these countries who we're tariffing or going after. That's how you get them. Russia wasn't really hurt the way they should have been because everybody else was kind of willing to deal with them. And if you've got somebody else who's willing to go buy something for you, maybe you pay them a few extra bucks, but at the end of the day, you're doing okay. And nobody's worse for the wear in their mind. Yeah, you might have sanctioned them, but we didn't sanction the other people that are doing their bidding.
Tariffs at about 100%. You'd call them secondary tariffs. You know what that means. But today we're going to talk about something else. And as you know, we've spent $350 billion approximately on this war with Russia and Ukraine, and would like to see it end. It wasn't my war, it was Biden's war. It's not my war. I'm trying to get you out of it. And we want to see it end. And I'm disappointed in President Putin because I thought we would have had a deal 2 months ago, but it doesn't seem to get there. So based on that, we're going to be doing secondary tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days. It's very simple. And they'll be at 100%. And that's the way it is. It can be more simple. It's just the way it is. I hope we don't have to do it.
That's just the way it is. It's the great Bruce Hornsby says. That's just the way it is.
That's what he's saying.
I don't know what else you're going to do. I mean, we're not going to put boots on the ground, so that's not going to happen. But then we're also going to have to make sure they have enough weapons to try to force him to get his butt at the negotiation table, as close as you're going to get. I mean, these guys aren't ever, I think, going to be in the same room. Unless there is some big signing in Switzerland.
You mean Trump and Putin or Zelensky and Putin?
Zelensky and Putin. Like, there would have to be, you'd have to be in Switzerland, some super neutral place. And you could, they're not shaking hands, I'll tell you that, because the Putin probably has one of those fake hands, and he takes it off, and next thing you know, Zelensky dies of a
joy buzzer with arsenic in it.
He's got one of those roses that he pushes the buttons and outshoots some sort of poison. That's it. Do you remember, was it Kim Jong-un's brother, his half-brother. Remember when they had him executed?
Oh, yeah, in the airport.
At the airport, they told those girls it was like it was a reality show, and they sprayed him with all that stuff, and he ended up dying.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what? That's crazy. So this is all you have to do if you're him. And I know what you're going to hear. You're going to hear a lot of people go, oh, my God, here we go, getting involved in this, that, and the other. And why? Because Trump wants to get this thing done. Here's the one thing about Trump. You can say what you want about him. There's a lot of stuff, good, bad, and different. He's a human being, despite when some people, on the left want to think that he's some sort of monster. And some other people out there think he's the greatest thing in the history. He's a person. And he is somebody that is completely anti-war, and I love that. He's pro-peace. He's pro-peace because he likes business, right? It's tough, and he's not in the business of war. If he was in the business of war, maybe it's a different story, but he's not. He's in the business of business. Hey, doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a hotel, it's travel, it's food, he likes business. And he doesn't want business to go sideways. And it makes it hard to do business when you're blowing stuff up.
Yeah, it requires stability.
Not a lot of stability over there right now. There isn't. And they're coming hard. So this will be interesting to see how this plays itself out. But as I said last hour, you have to now force him off the on-ramp rather than give him the opportunity. So we'll see what that's like. Meanwhile, in Florida, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, Alligator Alcatraz.
When President Donald Trump toured the migrant detention facility in the Florida Everglades earlier this month, he said that it would very soon house some of the most menacing migrants, some of the most vicious people on the planet, he said. But a new report published Sunday suggests that may not be the case. Hundreds of immigrants with no criminal charges in the United States are being held at Alligator Alcatraz, according to an investigation by the Miami Herald and the Tampa Bay Times, which obtained records about the migrants being held there. According to the report, there are more than 250 people who are listed as having only immigration violations but no criminal convictions, who are being held together with those accused and convicted of crimes.
This is the problem with immigration right now and if you saw the new Gallup poll, it's like 80% of people it's the highest number it's been in 25 years for supporting immigration. And the reason is like I said last week, nobody wants to see how the hot dog is made, the sausage, right? It's, we want to go, we want to enjoy the barbecue. I don't want to know how it's made. Right now, we're seeing ICE and we're seeing all of these things happen, and they're nasty, and it's not what I think a lot of people thought it was going to be. ICE has been around since 2003. Before that, it was INS. It's not like these things are brand new. Trump didn't invent these things. And the raids have been going on since, the beginning. A lot of it was they were looking for terrorists, especially after 2001 and 9/11. But it's changed. It's changed over the years. And there is a frustration, I think, because a lot of people really did think, well, wait a minute here. I thought it was the worst first. Why is it you got 300 people locked up? And yes, there's some bad people in there. But, we didn't want to throw everybody. We thought maybe you'd get to them last. But it seems to be that's who you're catching first. And the numbers, I saw last week, Batya Surgan, or whatever, I always screw up her name. She was out talking about, look at all the polls. Well, the polls have switched because pictures and videos matter. And there's no doubt, take California out of it, because California is full of wackadoos and people. I mean, they knew the raid was coming, for God's sakes, on that pot farm. But once again, you failed to talk about the fact that there were kids on a pot farm. Kids on a pot farm. It never went to that. It was always, they shouldn't be doing this. No, there were kids on a pot farm. My issue is the worst first seems great. We don't want to have a crazy reaction. Now, stick with me here on this. Think about this for a second. We are a reactionary society. So something happens. We overreact. I don't know if you're aware of this. It can be emotional. And then we try to react in another way, and then we'll overreact that direction. It's that pendulum swinging back and forth. Where's the happy medium? Because we go from people who are all about deportation and all about this, according to polls, and then within a month or two, it's already the highest it's ever been in support for immigration to the United States. So where's the reality? Reality is most people want people to do it correctly. Most people want all of the bad people gone, right? Like the wackadoo, crazy people out there think everybody should be able to stay in. Nobody's illegal. We don't care about you. You're going to say that about anything. But there are people that are going, well, I don't know if I want the lady down the street. It's always, how does this affect me? What about the person over here? What about the person over there? What about I knew that person. What about this neighborhood? That's the issue people are having. And they're reacting to it. And then you've got the silliness of alligator, Alcatraz, and stuff like that, which has become... Do you know Alcatraz was Alcatraz? What was the big thing about Alcatraz, guys? Do you remember? If you try to escape? Oh, there's great white sharks. We didn't seem to care that great white sharks eat people. Yeah. Nobody cared about that. And an elementary school in Florida is an Alcatraz. Because if you escape and you go into a pond, you're going to get eaten by an alligator.
Yeah, the roadside ditches.
Yeah.
And the original Alcatraz also had currents that would sweep you out to sea,
Yes.
and the water was ice freezing cold, and you probably couldn't survive it.
It was 1,000 times worse than this. It was. But I think people are looking and going, well, we want to get rid of everybody. In life, sometimes it's not how you say something. It's not what you do. It's how you say it and do it. And that has become the battle. We live at a time where people want to brag and they want to wear a shirt about, somebody being eaten by an alligator and stuff like that, where, it's an illegal, so it's no big deal. That doesn't play well with the average person. You got to think to yourself, you're a supporter of Trump, and no matter what, through thick and thin, you're not getting Trump over the finish line. It's those independents that you need to get over the finish line. And that includes the people that are going to be, hoping and praying next year they don't get voted out of office. So where's the smart, let's get something done scenario when it comes to immigration? You're not going to find it because it's too big of a deal for them to ever give up. Like I said, they're still pissed that abortion's gone. Man, they love riding that thing for as long as possible. Why would they give up this? Coming up, a lot of stuff still to squeeze into. Man, it's one of those weekends that a lot of stuff happened and didn't happen. It wasn't crazy, but there was a lot of little stories. And the more you find out about Epstein, the more you find out about Epstein. Or not, really. Because Wendy, is that what we call her? Wendy or Mandy?
I call her Mandy.
Mandy. That's Ghislaine, whatever the hell her
Just
name
remember
is.
Barry Manilow, Mandy.
Mandy, yeah. She is now upset because she said, hey, I wasn't even offered a plea deal. They told me basically you got 20 years, so deal with it. Talk a little bit about that. Bug other things. It is Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Uh-oh. Speaking of the airport.
The report says 3 seconds after the plane lifted off, one switch went from the run position to the cutoff position, meaning it's cutting off fuel to the engine. 1 second later, the other switch goes to cut off as well. This means no more fuel to the engines. They started to shut down. So I played pickleball this week with my buddy who is a pilot, and he's like, there's no way that one pilot at 15,000 hours, the other one at 3,000 to 4,000. That person should never have been in that situation. Secondly, they're looking at the mental stability of the older pilot whose mother died last year. He's been taking care of his father. He actually went in for mental health tests in September. And yeah, they even heard them say, why'd you turn that off? I didn't. Then why'd you turn that back off? And these are not easy things to turn off. These are military-grade switches. They have to be lifted up and moved to the next position. It's not something where you just bump your elbow into it and it can shift one way or another. Experts I've spoken with say it's impossible that these switches would have been moved accidentally. Now, 10 seconds after the switches were turned off, one of the switches was turned back on, the other switch shortly thereafter, but there just wasn't enough time for the engines to recover, and that's what led to the plane crash. And the issue, if this would have been thousands upon thousands of feet in the air, it would have probably been fine. But because of how it had just taken off, there was no way to get everything going again. And you had the tragedy.
Yeah, it's just by nature of time. The higher you are, the more time you have to fix a problem.
Yeah. And they were just hundreds, maybe 1,000 or 2,000 feet. I mean, if you watch it, they never get much off the ground. it was like nobody at first, because everybody blamed, let's be real, Boeing, you've had some issues. All right, you've had some issues. And everybody thought the electrical failed. It doesn't look like it looks to be, and I don't want to say it was suicidal, but it definitely looks to be that human error played a massive role in this. And I don't know if it was just second nature. Somebody wasn't thinking and flipped something, thought they were further up. Who knows? But why are you flipping off? Because there's two of them.
Yeah.
So you're making a conscious effort to flip off the fuel to the engine. It's not it was an accident. Oh, my God, what was I hit the wrong thing. There's two of them. Whoop, whoop.
And you have that one pilot saying, why did he do that?
Yeah, why did you do that?
It really sounds like murder-suicide.
Yeah. Remember that Swiss pilot a few years ago? Was it like 5-6 years ago? Flew into the Alps, and then you find out he was mentally disturbed. But you don't know. I mean, you want to think, who's the person in front of you that's flying this plane? Has got everything going on, right? Like, life is good. But you also want to make sure. So the dude's wife just left him, right? He's $200,000 into debt to a whole bunch of guys who want to break his legs. You don't know. It's like,
Yeah.
I want to know what's going on. I was like, get on the plane, and the guy's like, hey, check it out. This guy's FICO's great. Life is good. Wife is hot. His girlfriend's even hotter. Whatever it is, right?
This just makes it even more tragic, man.
Yeah. And then
That should be printed on your ticket at the pilot's FICO score.
Yeah.
It should be on your ticket.
and how much this guy wants to live. Like, this guy wants to live and gals, but this guy wants to live so bad. You have no idea how bad this guy wants to live. He just won the lottery.
I wonder what has become of the lone survivor of that crash.
That's a good question, because I heard a lot about it. With him, and it was just so weird. Remember, he was
Switch seats with his brother.
Who died?
Is this the crash in India?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a dude on the plane that survived, remember? And he just
didn't
walked away.
He walked away. He hopped down and just walked away, and he was kind of pissed. People were asking him questions. And, but how about you're sitting there at work, right? In the cafe for lunch, and then a plane comes careening through.
Yeah.
Those people too. I mean, it was horrible, but it's sounding more like human error, which in some ways you think, okay, that's not good, but it's better than the alternative that everything's falling apart, because the number one trending things the last 2 months has been air safety, because we see stuff on the ground, we see all these kind of things, and our first response is, oh my God, it's like planes are falling out of the sky 24/7, and that's not true.
Started with the helicopter and the Delta flight over the Potomac.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we haven't heard much about that.
Haven't heard much about that since.
No.
They just shut down, I guess, airspace for the helicopters.
For the helicopters. Yeah, that seems to be a lot like human error as well. So humans, so computers, they may take over the world, but they seem to be okay at doing stuff. That's for sure. Coming up.
Well, up until the point they want to kill us.
Well, that's a different story, though, Bell. That's an active thing they're trying to do. When it comes to just flying said plane, they seem to be okay at it. Coming up. A lot of stuff still to get to. Got some of your text messages about stuff. A bunch of other goodies as well. Some fun stuff, some crazy stuff. Kids, this is what we do. This is the kind of show we have. It is Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. It's going to be hot out there. Am I correct, boys?
It's summertime.
Let's see what it's like.
Now it's time for the Swamp Ass News Report with the weather wizard, Ken Weaver.
All right. How are we looking,
They're
swamp ass?
getting close, boys. What we decide that the meter starts buzzing if we hit like 98 feels like?
Yeah, like in the mid-90s, you get that first one, and once you get over 101, it's game on.
It's full on. Well, we're at 96 degrees, feels like, right now on Music Row.
Gross.
Humidity's about 54%. So we've got some humidity mixing in with the sunshine that makes it feel a lot more steamier out there.
I I mean,
50% chance you might run into a shower or thunderstorm today.
Yeah, like how bad are we looking here?
Well, Channel 4 keeps saying we're under a level 1 out of 5 risk of severe weather.
Can we listen to them? Huh? Who's their weather meteorologist person?
Well, Dan Thomas is on duty right now. In the mornings, it's Stefano DiPietro.
Yeah, we know Stefano.
Then it'll be Dan Thomas in the afternoon or Melanie Layden.
Lisa Spencer.
Lisa Spencer. Yeah, she's.
Do
the
we trust
chief.
her?
Yeah, she's trustworthy.
All right, I want to know. At least I'm not trying to be mean, but I just want to get this right because our Swamp Ass News Report has to be right.
Yeah, heat index values as high as 101 degrees today in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, I'll take a pass.
That's swamp ass right there,
That
boys.
is super swamp ass. That's soupy.
Yes, sir.
And we should have this all week, right?
Yeah, that's going to be there is at least a 20% chance of showers all week long, but yeah, let's see. Today's 50, tomorrow's 30, Wednesday 40, Friday a 50% chance. Thursday not much of a chance of rain Thursday, but then Thursday night 20%. So yeah, we're into that time. It's almost monsoon-like in Middle Tennessee right now. Somebody's going to get a shower or a thunderstorm somewhere, just not everybody all the time.
Okay. All right. Sporadic, we should say. It's going to be all over the place, a little sporadic.
Widespread showers and possible thunderstorms.
Some of you may get it, some of you may not. Either way, though, swamp ass is real.
It's
right
on,
now.
boys. And it's probably not going to end until late September.
What?
That's whenever summer ends.
Oh, my Lord. We're not going to have the bubonic plague. Did you see Arizona? Somebody died from the bubonic plague?
I saw a headline about that. What in the world?
Ground squirrels. Something happened, and so you got the pneumonic plague and the bubonic plague, and both of them are not good to get. You have to get seen within 24 hours of really showing the hardcore symptoms, or you're done.
Or you're gone.
And this person was a little bit older, didn't have a chance to get there, and apparently they had found some. They do some routine testing. About 7 to 10 people get it a year. Mm-hmm. Most people don't die from it, though. I mean, it's so weird to think that the thing that killed all of those people back in the 1300s, now it's like, here, take a pill, you'll be fine.
So is this similar to hantavirus? That that was prevalent in New Mexico, and it's what apparently killed Gene Hackman's wife.
Yeah, it's similar. I think that one spread in different.
It's in the air.
Yeah, this one is spread by fleas.
Okay,
and so they believe the ground squirrels in this certain area up in Flagstaff. Because my daughter, so she called yesterday, and she's on the spectrum. She was worried.
Yeah,
that because there was a dead ground squirrel in the pool, and she was worried that she picked it up and she they got rid of it, and she thought for a second, oh my God, what if I have, what if I got? And we're like, you're going to be fine, right? You didn't get bit by a flea. Yeah. This was in a specific area up in Flagstaff, which is it's beautiful up there.
If anything, the fleas had already abandoned ship.
Yeah, they jumped off. You're fine, but you don't know, right? You're a kid. Right? It's, when I was a kid, I was like, I hope I didn't get bit by a tsetse fly. I don't even know what the hell a tsetse fly was.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I was scared of quicksand and killer bees.
Oh, the quicksand.
Quicksand was either going to suck me into the ground and suffocate me, or killer bees were going to swarm me.
Man, I tell you what. Well, the killer bees finally showed up. But the quicksand, man, that was just a no-go, right? We waited for that.
We looked, and we looked, and we couldn't find any quicksand.
We did try to find it, too.
John Mulaney said, I thought that was going to be a bigger part of my life. Like I was going to walk into the soup. Whoops, quicksand. Where'd that come from?
Oh, goodness.
Never.
Somebody send me a tree limb.
I don't even know if it's real. I think you guys made that up for the $6 Million Man. I think that's it. And why is there quicksand in the middle of the forest? Why did Bigfoot go into the quicksand? Yeah. That's not possible. There's not even sand in the forest. This is a problem. Oh, goodness. Yeah, Bigfoot, too. We all thought about those things back in the day. Now you don't have to worry.
There's stuff out in the desert that'll get you, man.
There will be.
That plague, hantavirus, it'll get you.
Yep. Also in the desert, apparently. I remember the hantavirus. That was a big deal for a while.
Oh, yeah.
So the West Nile was a big deal?
West Nile, yeah, boy, that was a big deal whenever West Nile first came on the scene.
Oh,
Ebola.
So I was in Atlanta when they flew that dude in with Ebola. Remember that? They flew him in. He had to stay in Atlanta. And, man, what a party favor. What is a party conversation is that? Hey, you guys met Steve? Oh, yeah. He had the Ebola virus. No, yeah, he did. It was totally fine.
He survived it, man.
Yeah, he survived it. They flew him over here, and they gave him some antibiotics. A little penicillin. Knocked it right out. But it was cool. He was all inside. It was just like the movie Outbreak, except for the part where he didn't die. Outbreak's a great movie if you've never seen it. Fantastic movie. Dustin Hoffman.
I never saw that.
Outbreak 2 is pretty good.
Electric Boogaloo.
No, and they're filming it off Friends. Don't you remember that episode?
Outbreak. If you've never seen Outbreak. You've never seen Outbreak, dude?
I don't think I've ever seen Outbreak. I remember
Dustin
it.
Hoffman?
Morgan Freeman, right?
Yeah.
Dustin Hoffman.
I never sat and watched it, man.
And Patrick Dempsey.
Patrick Dempsey,
Yeah, he
huh?
starts the whole thing off.
Well, I'll be.
Catching that monkey and then bringing it over here and selling it in a pet store. What are you thinking? Whew.
You can't do stuff like that.
No, you
man.
can't. Just like what they try and do in
Germany?
Yeah.
Yeah, shoving 1,500 baby tarantulas in these little tubes, passing them off as chocolate sponge cake.
To me, that's just bait and switch. Give me the damn chocolate sponge cake.
Yeah. That's
But here's the deal. That's animal cruelty because spiders are not insects.
yeah.
Spiders are animals.
They are.
They're arachnids.
I've had a lot of tarantulas in my life. Pets.
You know, I have nothing against spiders personally. They just creep me out. I cannot get over seeing one and just getting that feeling. Especially at night if I walk through a web. Oh, my gosh. I have done these spider boogies so many times.
The spider boogie. What's that?
Where I'm just flailing around. Just, ah!
I've had a bunch of tarantulas. They were always fun, neat.
They're pretty chill, aren't
No,
they?
they're super chill. They are. Now there's a couple you
Not the ones I dated.
They're not very chill at all. They throw their hairs. You get mean in them.
Oh, yeah. Now those, man.
So, but I've had, there's a few out there that you like the Brazilians, some of the Brazilians, they're not happy with you ever. But for the most part, you just put your hand in there, they walk up there. It's just kind of a neat little thing. They walk around you. Same thing with, I've had tons of emperor scorpions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those are neat.
Their intention, I know their intention is not to hurt me. But spiders just freak me out.
Yeah.
And I would, I had some, in Oklahoma, the radio station I worked at, very first radio station, we were, already lived in a country town. The radio station was about 3 miles outside of the little country town I lived in. And after a rain, tarantulas would seek higher ground.
Yeah.
And they would be out in that gravel parking lot everywhere. They were the skinny tarantulas. They had kind of the yellowish back.
Yeah.
And then the little kind of skinny body. I did not know tarantulas could jump.
Yeah, they can. They do a lot of stuff.
I went out there with a broom. I thought I would mess with them. One of them jumped over me and landed on the hood of my car.
Did you see the way Candy went out there realistically to be mean to them?
Yeah, I went out there. I was going to mess with them. I was kind of like this guy, taking selfies with bears. Only tarantulas won't kill you.
No.
But, this one, he jumped right over me and onto my car, and I said, okay. And I ran inside. I even locked the radio station doors.
Playtime's over.
But yeah, those things
You
were
lock the radio.
everywhere.
Lock them quick. They're coming.
Did you put on a really long song so you could go out and mess with them?
No, it was that radio station at the time. We were piping in satellite radio network, so it was all automation.
Oh man, everybody's ever worked at a radio. We'll give you guys a little behind the scenes. Everybody who's ever worked at a radio station has had to do a Sunday or Saturday shift.
Yep.
Where you go in there and you got to play paid programming or something. But like it's different now with satellites. Back in the day, I used to do Catholic Mass. at the station, and they had the reel to reel.
Yes.
And I had just enough. I'm like, cool, this is an hour and 30 minutes. I can go down the street and get a little breakfast. Hope that and you're listening to it, right? Like you're rolling through the Taco Bell at 7 a.m, listening to Catholic Mass, hoping it doesn't skip.
Yeah.
When I was at KDF, the overnight jock had to go down to KDA, which was the oldie station, and switch the reels out every 3 hours. And they played the same exact reels every single night on the overnights.
I love that.
Yeah.
We've all done it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, my goodness, mate.
We had a Church of Christ Restored preacher that would come in every Sunday morning. And I mean, man, he scared me to death.
Oh, was he preaching?
He told me I was going to hell every time I saw him.
Well, that's not good business.
Hell, he was paying the radio station, man.
Well, he's not paying a radio station to insult you.
Did he give a justification for having said that to you?
No. He just said, young man, you're going to hell.
Am I?
I was just...
And why is that, sir? I would have been smart aleckly. Why exactly am I going to hell?
There will be a sounder after the top of the hour news, and then you just start, sir.
That's so awesome. So he'd just preach right there, huh?
Yeah, he'd preach. Well, he would just pray.
Just fire
because
and
Church of
brimstone?
Christ, they had no. He didn't. The music he had was just a cappella. It was just like a Church of Christ congregation singing hymns, but there were no instruments. It was just voices.
Oh, my Lord.
And then he'd come on and pray, and he'd play another hymn. And
then he would talk about how you're going to hell.
Yeah, then you're going to hell, young man.
That is, so I worked at this Christian station in Southern California, and we allowed this guy to come in and record his show. It wasn't on our show, but he was friends with the guy that was running the station. And it was back in the day when there wasn't betting sites. And so it was the Christian station. We'd allow him come in and do like those betting infomercials where like, send me your money and I'll bet for you. And it was hilarious. I'm like, this feels weird. Oh, so awesome. Oh, radio kids. Coming up, we got fun stuff. What kind of stuff? Fun stuff. AI being your friend. Apparently a lot of kids are turning that way. Hell and fire, brimstone. A lot of people very excited about you going to hell there, Ken. Crazy. Somebody just texted us, too, and said, I flew a lot of Ebola missions in Guinea.
Ooh.
And not a big deal. He said, but they did let us get through customs fast. I bet they did.
I bet you they did.
A lot of good stuff still straight ahead. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7.
All right, drivers still have that right shoulder blocked by a crash eastbound to East Loop downtown. That's James Robertson Parkway. Then 65 southbound at Trinity Lane, 65 northbound at I-24 downtown, exit 86. President Trump sending more weapons to NATO to give to Ukraine and a request for video in that deadly I-24 shooting. These stories and more, too, on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
So somebody text in about the Church of Christ and why they don't have instruments. He said, good question. I think we're told we don't need them because man-made instruments are voice to praise God.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay, I had no idea. But instruments are good. Not saying you need to rock and roll, just saying, not that I don't think a good hymn is fantastic.
But there's nothing like a little cello during church.
There's nothing like a little Jesus.
This dude, man, I mean, he would... Let's see. So his show would come on at like 7 o'clock in the morning, which as a 16-year-old, man, that's early.
That is very early.
So I would get there at 5 to sign on the station, because, it would sign off overnight. And then that guy's show was at 7, but he would show up in the parking lot at 6. And he would just sit in his car. And then I would look at him out there, and I was just...
He was getting ready.
He was terrifying me.
That sounds like fun. He said, I bet he was a fun guy.
Well, and he would tell me I was going to hell, but he wouldn't offer me a way for salvation.
Well, you're not there. You're not the demographics we're looking for, sir. Somebody said you would probably smoke some Winstons.
No, at the 16, I didn't smoke at 16. So
That was 17, guys.
I was afraid I was going to hell.
It was the long hair, wasn't it?
It was. It was all the long hair. This is interesting. Britney Spears teases that she adopted a baby girl. I've got news for you. There is no chance in hell any place on earth would let her adopt anything.
No, sir.
No chance.
She might have kidnapped one.
Yeah, you might have bought someone from somewhere, but you didn't adopt anything.
Wow.
Yeah. Everybody's like, it can't be real. No, it can't because you're crazy.
She's still dancing with
Oh,
knives.
yeah. She just did a new half-naked dance thing.
Oh.
Someone give me a child. Someone give me a child. I wouldn't even let her adopt a dog.
Well, that one video where she's clanging those knives together, her dogs are terrified. Those little bitty...
Who's filming you? Why has nobody said, all right, look.
Oh, man.
You've got some problems. We need to address this right now.
Yeah, Brittany, you were...
Maybe your dad was right. Maybe this was not a good idea.
Maybe the shaving of the head was a signal.
Which signal was? God, she had so many signals. So many.
Apparently, Alyssa Milano is putting out strange videos, too.
Man, they all start to lose it, don't they, at some point in time?
Well, Alyssa's heavy leftist wingnut.
Yeah, but then she says some stuff that's not so wingnutty. You know, and then that...
Like she's going to get rid of her Tesla to buy a Volkswagen.
Yeah, one of those things. But then she'll say other stuff where you're sitting there going, well, that doesn't seem like her. Because they're all nuts, right? It's how crazy are they, ladies? There's no way anybody would ever... Like if she came in, if Brittany came in, it's like, I'd like to, no, you're not adopting anything. In fact, you need to be adopted.
Yeah.
Oh, all those people that were super excited to get her free.
Yeah.
And then they got her free and they're like 3 hours later, I think we made a mistake. I think we made a serious mistake here. Coming up, hour number 3 of the program, more on the Battle of Epstein. He's dead, but it will not go away. We'll talk a bit about that. We got some immigration stuff as well. A bunch of other goodies, fun, and frivolity kits. Plus, 40 years ago, this major concert happened. Talk a little bit about that because I just think it was interesting. This past weekend, they celebrated 40 years ago. That's 2 scores for those of you not keeping score. It is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.